like we've got about 49 people, lots of people coming in.
Good morning, everybody. We're just going to get started in a few minutes. I'm excited to be with you. I hope you're all staying warm. My toes have finally thawed out from my travels to the office. Good morning, good morning. All right, we're just going to make sure everybody's able to get in. So, grab that cup of coffee, refill your water, get your notepad, whatever is going to help you. Our goal today is to just give you a good overview of the new back end of the GiveNOLA Day platform. And we've got a super duper fantastic expert who's led a lot of organizations around the country through the Mightycause back end. So we are excited to get this process going again. I have totally forgotten which GiveNOLA Day this is, but if it's your first one, welcome. If you've been with us before, I'm excited to have your organization be part of our Giving Day. Hi, Hallie. So while folks are still coming in, a couple logistical things. As we go through, if you've got questions, um, feel free to drop them. Well, probably the best thing is to use the Q&A option. If you're not able to find that, feel free to drop it in the chat. I'll be monitoring questions through the Q&A and the chat, ideally the Q&A, please, and make sure to flag them for Dawn as we go through. So if you ask a question and it doesn't get an immediate answer, don't worry. I've got an eye on it. And we've definitely got time to cover everything throughout this time together. This is also being recorded and will be available in the toolkit. So don't worry if you miss a blip or something like that. We'll have it available for you to, unfortunately, listen to my voice as much as you want. I have that thing where my voice outside my head sounds very different than it does in my head. So, again, excited to have everybody with us. It looks like the folks streaming in are slowing down. So we'll give it one more minute and then we'll get started. All right. So, good morning, everybody. My name is Rachel Swan. I'm a program officer at the Greater New Orleans Foundation. We're the community foundation for 13 parishes of Southeast Louisiana. Um, I've worked on GiveNOLA Day since 2015 in a variety of roles and am really thrilled that y'all are back with us, or, some folks it might be their first year. This is all of our first years collaborating with Mightycause, which we are thrilled about over here at the foundation. And I'm excited for y'all to see all the additional functionality, tools, and techniques that'll help you leverage your donations to go even further throughout the day and beyond. So I'm going to make sure to say this is Dawn. I'm pointing next to me because that's where she is on my screen. Dawn is an expert on giving days, especially within the Mightycause platform. She has, I'm repeating myself if you were right on time, helped, I'm going to say thousands of organizations across the country to truly capitalize on their giving day. So if you can't see Dawn, don't worry. Your settings are probably set that you're only looking at the speaker. So when Dawn starts talking, she'll take over your screen. But Dawn, if you want to go ahead and get to the next slide, that'd be great.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Rachel. And I just want to reiterate too that we at Mighty Cause are so excited to have GiveNOLA Day on our platform. It has been, we've been watching the event for several years now, and we're also thrilled to be able to be a part of it this year. My job is to do my best to help the Greater New Orleans Foundation just be prepared in this transition, to then help you all be prepared in this transition. Change is hard, so our job and what we're going to try to do our best at is to make this as smooth as possible for you as you're learning a new platform, getting used to the tools, and also trying to raise money for your just amazing organizations. Um, like Rachel said, I am with Mightycause, and I've been with Mightycause for about 6 years now. For those of you who have never heard of Mightycause, we've been in the Giving Day space for about since 2007, I want to say, and have just been focused on giving days, focused on individual nonprofit fundraising. So it is what our passion is. It's what we, try to do best for mainly small to medium-sized orgs, those who are volunteer only, et cetera. So just really working hard to make the tools accessible and easy to use for, people who might not have technology skills. That are sometimes required to do a lot of cool stuff online. So today we're going to be walking through the GiveNOLA Day basics for this year's GiveNOLA Day. I will be doing a quick run through of how to register this year. It is different than last year. I'll also be walking through a platform demo. So in that platform demo, I'm going to show you your organization profile page. I'm going to walk you through the tools that are associated with it. I'm going to walk you through how to customize your profile page. And then I'm also going to walk you through some of the big changes for this year with disbursements and all that good stuff. So I'm hoping that as we walk through everything, you'll see lots of cool tools that you're excited to use, and that it will, seem easy to you to be able to, put logos on your page, videos, pictures, just really go into describing your mission. So we want to help you make the page as visually interesting as possible with as much or as little bandwidth as you have. Definitely understanding that a lot of you are volunteer run only, so you've got to split your time. And then lastly, we'll have a Q&A portion where we'll make sure to answer all your questions. So with that, I'm going to let Rachel go into basics, and then we'll move into how to register.
Awesome. So, you know, some things haven't changed about GiveNOLA Day. It's still us over here at the Greater New Orleans Foundation putting it on. And it is still a 24-hour giving day on May 5th this year. And we will also have an early giving window. So, for folks that haven't been with us before, we open early giving a week before so that the momentum can build. And then really a lot of energy gets focused on the 24 hours that comprise Tuesday, May 5th. So what we're aiming to do here at the foundation is uplift and amplify the work of our region's incredible nonprofit organizations. So we feel that Mightycause is going to be a great partner in helping y'all do that. And in addition, one extra element we'll do is provide extra amplification for organizations that register early. I'm guessing most of y'all have registered or are in that process. By completing registration early, we'll do an extra amount of publication, publicity, etc., sharing on certain organizations. So I think that's sort of the general overview of what we're looking for GiveNOLA Day. This webinar is largely focused on the technical aspects. So I'm going to hand it over to Dawn. And again, I'm monitoring the questions in the Q&A, so feel free to drop anything in there.
Awesome. Thanks, Rachel. Okay, so really quickly, I'm going to walk through how to register. And then I'm also, when I go in platform, I'll also show you where to go to register as well. So hopefully it'll be super easy and smooth for everyone. So different from last year, this year is going to be a two-step process with registration. When you go to the givenoladay.org site, there's going to be a button on the homepage that says register. You can click on that to get to the registration area. The system is going to have you log in, or if you've never participated before, it'll have you sign up. Once you do that, then it's going to have you choose which organization that you are looking to register. And then that will give you access, once you choose the organization, that will give you access to this first step one portion, filling out the registration form. It's very similar to last year. But the difference is that in last year's registration process, within the registration form, you had to add your logo, add information that would normally live on a profile. We have split that up. And so step one registration form is going to be just questions that the Greater New Orleans Foundation is interested in having you answer to participate in this year's event. Once you are done with step one and have submitted the registration form, you can then access your organization profile and the to-do list associated with that. And you'll also receive an email when your registration form is submitted with instructions on how to access that to-do list. I'll show you how to do that as well. But if you forget, or you don't feel like rewatching part of the webinar, which is understandable, then the instructions will be in your email after you complete step one. So with step two, which is completing the to-do list, your organization just needs to complete the items that are listed in the to-do list within your organization account. It's things like uploading your logo, adding your information about your organization. It's pretty simple, so it shouldn't take you that long. But once you're done with the to-do list, then the Greater New Orleans Foundation will be able to review your registration, make sure that everything looks good, and then you'll get an approved email once they push you through as approved. And so if you have any questions on that, let us know. But I will be showing you here in a minute on how to do that. Rachel, do you have anything else you want to add about the registration process for this year?
They did have a question about information from last year, and I wanted to share. There was a method of importing information from last year. So when you log in, you'll see a lot of information from last year. As always, please take some time and review it. Your impact numbers have changed. Your mission might have changed. You're going to have new photos, etc. So yeah, that should be in there, but also will be editable, and you should definitely take a look at it.
Yeah, and actually that's a great reminder. So Greater New Orleans Foundation has done an additional investment in GiveNOLA Day by having Mightycause do a migration of not only your profile data, but also your donation history and admins associated with your account. So what that means is, like Rachel said, when you log into your account, you will be able to see like whatever we were able to port over. Like a lot of you, we've already ported over your logo and your about section that you had on your page. So you can either just leave that as is, and that to-do item will already be checked off for you. And then we've also ported over donation history. Just so you're aware, and I'll show you this as well, the donation report defaults to 30 days. So when you go into that initially, you will not see anything. You're going to have to adjust the dates to be able to see last year's gifts. And then the last thing is admins. So Rachel mentioned too that it's a good idea to review everything that you have on your profile, etc. But reviewing your admin list too to like remove anyone, add anyone, you're able to do that easily within your account as well. And it's always good to have that annual kind of cleanup too. So, okay. So now I will go ahead and go into the platform demo. I'll show you where to go to register and kind of what that looks like really quickly. And then I'll get into your actual account and where you can find anything and start walking through the tools. So bear with me. Okay, so this is the new GiveNOLA Day GiveNOLA.org website. So when you go to register for the first time, you'll just come here and you'll scroll down and there's a register now button that you can click to get to the registration page. Registration is open through March 20th. As you can see, I am already logged in. So it's already giving me this first portion of the form. For those of you who are not logged in, you'll be able to log in or sign up And then once you do that, this portion of the form will open for you. For those of you who participated last year where we were able to migrate over your information, and you're an admin associated with that org, your organization will already be listed here under the select from your organizations. So all you have to do is click that and then move on. If you don't have a list here, or you've never participated before, you can enter in your organization name or EIN to search the database. And one other thing to note, Mightycause is in it. Mightycause imports in organizations with the IRS once a month. So we have a full database of all the organizations associated with the IRS. So you should be able to find your org. If you can't, though, or let's say you're fiscally sponsored, then you can always click Create It Now to request that we create an organization account for you. You'll fill out a form. Our support might have a couple questions, but we can get that going for you as well. For probably the vast majority of you, you'll just click the Select from Organizations and then select that to open up the rest of the registration form. You can then answer all the questions. And one thing too for this year is that you can save and finish later. So if you need help answering some of the questions or you don't have all the information all at once, you can always save it and come back to it later. Otherwise, you can go ahead and submit your form. From there, you'll get a confirmation email letting you know that you've submitted, and then that will include instructions to step 2, which is the to-do list. So also on this page, you'll see there's additional instructions on how to register for previous participants, new participants, and then some eligibility FAQs. So you can just, if you have a question, you can just click on one of those and see the answer for it. Okay. Are there any registration specific questions that we want to answer at this point?
No, I think most of the questions are sort of a little bit past this step, but
Oh, okay.
when folks register, they'll get an email
Correct.
and it will share that their registration is incomplete
Yeah, so
because,
it'll tell them they're pending. Yep.
great,
So it'll say you're pending, which means you're not approved. And then once you push them through as approved, then they'll get an email saying you're approved, and it'll have basically fireworks that will be like, it's amazing, and so then you'll know when you're approved.
great.
Mhm.
And if someone is new as an administrator for an organization, they can still set everything up,
Yes.
right?
So
Yep.
yes, for people who are new as administrators, you can still search for your organization in that area I just showed you. And then basically what that does is as you go through this process, so you'll select the org by searching for it. Then you'll get into this form, you'll fill it out, you'll submit it, and then that will, in the background, create like an admin request for that org, which then if there's anyone who is an existing admin on that account, they can go ahead and approve you. Otherwise, our support will just make sure that you should have access to that account, which for those of you who that applies to, it might take a day or two for our support to make sure that you're good to become an admin. And so you might not have access to the page right away, whereas to be able to complete your to-do list, whereas those who are established admins can access their organization account right away. So that is one difference. Hopefully that's clear.
Also, someone is asking after registration, how long will it take to receive a confirmation email? And I do want to share on our end, because this is a new platform for us, it will probably take about 10 business days, at least at first, to get going, just because our team is working out our systems and our processes to make sure we're keeping everybody above board. Mightycause has a wonderful built-in integration with the IRS registration compliance, but we do need to also check the Secretary of State website, which is a manual process. So just so to answer that. And Dawn, if someone's like, I registered yesterday and they're having trouble logging back in, what would you advise?
I would probably click the forgot password link. And if you're still having trouble, logging in or the forgot password link isn't working or you're not receiving it, check your spam. But if you're still having problems, this support question mark is at the bottom corner of every screen. You can just click on that and then click contact and fill out a form to reach out to our support. And they'll help you make sure that you can log into your account as well. Alternatively, and I'll have a slide at the end with all our support info, but alternatively, our support email is support@mightycause.com. I will say using this is going to be more efficient for them because I don't know how they do it, but with our system we use for support, when you go through this avenue, it tells them tons of stuff about where you're coming from and who you are and what orgs you're connected with, which is great because then that's less questions we have to ask you. And if you directly email at support@mightycause.com, obviously we can still get that information, but it's going to be a little more digging on our side to make sure that we're not asking you silly questions or wasting your time. So hopefully that answers that question.
Great. And one last thing I want to share, some folks are asking already about EFT and payment disbursement. I just want to share, we're going to get to that real soon.
Yep. Awesome. Okay, so let us start walking through the organization account. So this is the organization account for the Greater New Orleans Foundation. We're going to show you this as an example today. So first thing I want to point out is your to-do list is located in the upper corner on basically any page that you go to within your account. You can click on this to-do list and you can see the items that are required versus recommended. What the difference is to be approved, you must complete the required items. The recommended items, we just recommend them. The system and the Greater New Orleans Foundation, if you don't fill those out, you'll still get approved as long as the required items are done. So you can see your to-do list here. And if you wanted to open a detailed to-do list, one of the cool things is that, so if you were ported over, you'll see this logo is already checked off. The admin lead contact's already checked off, which is great. But if you're like, oh, I have to fill out my mission statement, you can always click on the item to be brought to that section and then add it and add your mission statement. Once you add that in, then your to-do list will automatically mark that off. So then you can just go down the line. And for the Greater New Orleans Foundation, once they fill out their mission statement, that's the last thing in that subsection for complete your organization page. So that will be marked off too. And then they'll be ready to be reviewed by themselves to make sure that they can participate. Or, for you as an org, make sure you can participate. So again, you can click on any one of these items to go directly to that area in your account so that you're not coming over here and searching, figuring out, where do I go to find this thing? Okay, so first thing you'll want to do is customize your profile page. One of the cool things about Mightycause is that we are all on-page editing for pretty much everything that we do here, which means that this organization page, you can put it in edit mode or take it out of edit mode. And this is your public-facing view that people will see. And if you wanted to kind of see it even more directly, so if I collapse the dashboard, so this is what the public's going to see when they come to the Greater New Orleans Foundation. So that means that, if you add a bunch of pictures or if you want to adjust some text.
We might not have edited our profile yet.
I don't think that you have, but that's fine. No. You've been busy. It's okay. But you can see this is what we've ported over for them. So they've already got this all in place. And technically they could leave it as is if they wanted to or didn't have the capacity to update. So then you can see it's all right here. Now, if I wanted to make any changes or edits, I could move it into edit mode and then I can, add a different logo if I wanted. I can add my own branding theme color for my organization. I can change the display name for my organization, which is different from the legal name, but you can always have the display name beyond there. And then if I wanted to add a goal, I could do that here. And you can hide any of the sections as well. In the About section, this area really allows you to be creative. You can add in images, you can add in videos. We support videos from YouTube and Vimeo. There's just a lot of different kind of like rich text options for you to have to make your page visually interesting, paragraph headings, and things like that. So it's a nice area for you to be able to talk about your organization, add pictures, etc. And then scrolling down, there's a couple optional sections. For this campaign, the mission is a required area, but some of these other features, giving activity, featured campaigns, those are optional. You do not have to add them if you don't want to. And as you can see, we're in edit mode, so you can see those, but if I scroll up and move myself out of edit mode, then those sections that we just saw disappear. So the public's not going to see those. It'll just be you when you're in edit mode. Um, doo -doo -doo. But yeah, so it's anywhere that you see a pencil icon or a plus area, you can adjust kind of what that looks like. Our media gallery allows you to add pictures, edit pictures. You can switch pictures around if you wanted, so that they're listed the way that you want them to. And then in our organization data area, you can add some additional items, phone number, address. You can choose your category here as well. Some of these items you can add in social media. You can add that in here and choose from many symbols that I am not sure what they are. But for those of you who are really social media savvy, then these are all the ones that you can choose from, which is great. But yeah, so it's, it allows you to, the editing on the site allows you to be very visual. And then, of course, if you have any questions while you're editing this page, you can always click the support icon and either search our help, our support forum articles for, kind of making your organization page more interesting, or you can reach out and submit a ticket for our support team as well.
Dawn, we've got two questions.
Perfect.
Can you give an example or share the differentiation between a featured versus supporting campaign?
Yes. So
Thank you.
essentially, the featured campaign allows you to choose from any of your existing campaigns that you have created. Mightycause allows you, and this is one of the tools that we'll get into in a minute, but we have a lot of peer-to-peer fundraising options on the site. And I'll show you where to find that, but then we'll also go into it more as like a strategy piece for the second webinar that we'll be doing. But from your fundraising campaigns that either you have started to, kind of advertise a program that you're doing or a specific initiative, or from fundraising pages that others have created for you, you can then choose from those fundraisers to feature one or more specifically. So if you have if you have something that you're intentionally raising money for the GiveNOLA campaign, and you wanted to create a fundraising page for it, you could then feature that fundraising page in this section. And so I don't think you all have any, but it allows you to call it out by just making it more visually interesting on the page. And so it just makes it, so people see it more.
All right. Another question we have is, what is an example of what a custom tab would be used for?
That's a great question. So I'm trying to think of what I've seen other people use a custom tab for. So if you, let's say, you had, you wanted to list out more information about your organization, like you wanted everyone to know who your board members are, like you could have a custom tab to just list those out. Or if you had, let's say, and some sort of event that you were doing and you wanted to have, you could add a custom tab and tell everyone all about the event or initiative that you were doing, the location. You can just add whatever you need to it. It's really just, I don't know if it's like if a lot of people use it, but it's a nice thing to have if you do have kind of a subset of information that doesn't necessarily fit in your about section or in any of the other sections on your page, but we have that just super flexible custom tab option for you to put whatever you want there. Any other questions? Okay, perfect. Okay, I'm going to open up my dashboard again. So I see the hamburger icon allows me to open that up. And then from here, I'm going to actually, because this is an active account, I'm going to actually move over into our demo site account to be able to show you some of the other features that we have. So here's another example of an organization profile page. And you can see, I don't know if they've added, they didn't add anything to that one, but they've added an image, a button to their about section. They have a featured campaigns section. And then they also have a giving activity section. So you can see what that looks like on their profile page. So for opening up the dashboard, so I wanted to just call out a couple of tools that you'll have access to now that Mightycause is kind of going to be the backbone of the day. So your biggest section that you'll want to look at is the fundraising tools area. From here, the campaigns is where that you'll be able to find your peer-to-peer functionality. So from here, this is where, like, if anyone starts a fundraiser for you, you will see those listed here. And you can see which ones were created by peer-to-peer people and which ones were created by specific organization admins. You can create new campaigns from in here as well. You can download the list of your peer-to-peer. There's some filter options available too. So if that is a strategy that you use, this is going to be an important section for you and tool for you to be able to take advantage of. The other tool I wanted to call out for people to start thinking about now is the matching grants tool that we have. So you can come into this area of your site and we have matching grant functionality available to you. We have lots of different support articles on how to create the matching grant because while you can definitely do a one-to-one matching grant, so if someone donates $10, then your page goes up by $20 for that one-to-one match. We have a lot of different functionality and capabilities with our matching grants tool. For example, you can create as many matching grants as you want. You can queue up matching grants to start one after the other. You can have a matching grant not go into your total until the match has been fully met. You can, there's some settings and things like you can only have the match count once per unique donor. So there's lots of different options to choose from. And I highly recommend, like, if matching grants are part of your strategy, start exploring this section earlier so that you understand what all of the pieces are about. If you've never dabbled in the world of matching grants, I highly recommend. But it's always good to start off simple, especially with you're already learning a new platform, plus doing all the things that you normally do. So a one-to-one match is the easiest thing to set up. And so I highly recommend doing that if you've never done a matching grant before. The other piece that I wanted to get into was the opportunities. So the opportunities area is a place where you can go to add an event, to add a volunteer opportunity that just allows your organization to kind of put that out there since people are going to be accessing the GiveNOLA site. So when you have opportunities listed, they will be listed here. And let me and then when you create an opportunity, you can look at, is it in person or online? Is it volunteering? Is it a calendar event? You can link it to an existing opportunity. So if you have something, that people register on your website, you can definitely link to it from there and have them continue that process. Alternatively, if you don't, you can always host the opportunity on Mightycause, and then you can add in different details for the opportunity. So it's really, it allows you to kind of get more of you out there, so more people see it, and then hopefully come and just volunteer for your org, get involved with your org, and it's one additional stewarding method that you can use that's available to you. The other, there's lots of different fundraising tools, and we don't necessarily have time to get into them all, but I highly recommend when you access your account, um, going through and kind of exploring, and what I might do in the second webinar is just really dive into more detail for some of the features. That way we give you kind of strategies on how to use them or how to take advantage of them better. But since we're just kind of getting to know the platform now, my main goal is making sure you can log in and access your account and get registered and kind of understand the basics. So the other fundraising piece I want to call out before moving on to some of the other areas is our fundraising template tool. So this allows you to create a fundraising template. So if you did have peer-to-peer as one of your strategies for the day, this allows you to kind of create a pre-existing template for when people go to click fundraise on your profile page. Then you can basically have all of this stuff pre-filled out for them. They can use the template, so it's less work for them to set up the fundraising page. That is available to you as well. They are able to adjust, text and things like that. So if they wanted to tell their own story, and things of like and how they're connected to your organization, they can definitely do that once they create the page. But this template allows them to just very easily get their page going and start sharing it with their family and friends.
Hey, Dawn.
Yes.
Awesome. If I want to share one thing and then I want to ask you to go back one step if
Okay,
you don't
perfect.
mind.
Yeah, no problem.
So, just to make sure everybody's clear, first of all, sorry, sidebar. If my camera's doing some weird light thing, I don't know what's happening. I'm not at a
You're just having
disco.
a
I'm
party,
at the
Rachel.
office. Yeah, you know me. Always. These are all optional tools and functionality. Your organization's profile can just go up. You can make sure it's all accurate and you can be done. Or you can add on whatever features, ideas, things might be helpful. So this is what's cool is it's got some new ideas and new options. But if you're like, my dance card is full, I have 6 other fundraisers to put together. I'm the board volunteer and this is my limit. That is totally fine. This is just options that you can implement if it makes sense for you and your organization. So just want to like lay that out there. Nothing is required
Correct.
beyond the registration process. Those 2 steps. And then Dawn, we had a lot of folks wanting to understand more about campaigns.
Okay.
So before you navigate off this page, though,
Oh,
sorry,
sorry.
real
I'm
quick,
very bad. Trigger
it's
finger. Yeah.
that's fine. Dawn is also an hour ahead of us, so her coffee has had longer to kick in.
Yes.
Um, When you the fundraiser template actually feeds into the campaigns, right?
Yeah, so when peer-to-peer, like when individuals go and click fundraise on your profile page, let me see if it'll do it for me. Then so if you have a template set up, it will say, would you like to use the template? Why, yes, I would like to use the template. And so it will pre-fill their page out with that template that you
Okay,
have set up for them.
great. So that's a way if you want to like preload, like Dawn just said, some of that information. The questions are more specifically beyond that tie together around a featured campaign. Would you mind going back and
Yeah.
showing that again?
Yes.
And again, that's just an option.
Right.
Um, if like you want to make sure it's super clear that your intent for GiveNOLA Day funds is to support a certain thing, it's another way to emphasize that.
Correct.
Alternatively, if a lot of your board members are going to set up their individual fundraising pages, maybe you don't want to feature anybody because then you're going to have the person who's like, why am I not featured? So again, it's just an option. But Dawn, if you don't mind going through that just a little bit more slowly so folks can see that.
Yeah, definitely. So, on the profile page, there is that, which I don't know why it's doing this in edit mode, but there is that featured campaigns area. And from here, you can uh, this might be at its capacity for the featured. But I'm going to delete that one. And then, so when you are not, so 9 is the capacity. I probably recommend 1. But we give people the ability to add 9. So when you want to add a featured fundraiser, which like Rachel said, completely optional. It's a good way to just emphasize an existing campaign that, if you wanted to set up a fundraiser page for like, if you're raising funds for like a new park bench or something, then you could create a peer-to-peer page in your campaigns area for that, and then put that fundraiser as a featured cause on your profile to further emphasize that campaign. Or alternatively, let's say you have 9 or less board members, and they each set up a fundraiser page. You could add all of them to the featured area as well. But then if you wanted to add something, you could click the plus sign on the featured cause area and then search for that fundraiser, and then add it in there as well. Which it won't let me do it now, but there you go. Hopefully that explains it. But again, optional, and you can just completely hide the section as well if you are like, I just want my whole page to reflect the initiative that I'm doing, and that's totally fine. I'm going to move on because I don't want to run out of time to do reports and checkout and some settings. So your reporting area is going to be an area that you can access at any time. All gifts get recorded in your reports in real time. So in your reporting area, you can click on the all donations. And this is also where you'll go to see your past gifts that have been migrated over if that applies to you. Now, like I said, the time period defaults to the last 30 days, but you can go through and choose this week, this month, last year. So easy thing for you, if your gifts were migrated and you wanted to see them, you could always choose last year as well. Alternatively, you can go by campaign type, view by giving event, and then from there, all of the giving events that we migrated over and connected those gifts to, you can search by that as well. But for this purpose, I'm going to say last year. And from here, you'll see a quick snapshot of your gifts that you received in whatever time period you chose. So you'll see a quick snapshot up here. You'll see the summary area here, but you can always download the full donation report. That's going to give you all of the information. It's going to tell you the donor's name, email, address, and any information they provided on their donation form, obviously excluding credit card information, then you'll have that information in there. If your organization wants to, ask a custom question in your donation form, then that answer will show up in your donation report as well. Yes.
Hey, Dawn, real quick, how far back, how many GiveNOLA days are visible on the back end? Quite a few, right?
There are quite a few.
I want to say it's the last, at least maybe last 5 years.
It might be more than that. I
Right.
can't remember how many. I mean, we migrated as much as we could.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
It was a big migration. Okay. One report too that I want to kind of call out is your retention report. This report is going to be kind of fun to look at once early giving starts, essentially, because what it will tell you is it's going to list out all of the, I'm going to see if it can get something in here. So it's going to list out all of the donors that gave during the time period that you chose. And so you can see, I can have the time period be a specific giving year. So if you wanted to look at last year's for this year's, you can see which of these donors hasn't given yet. And then it's going to let you know really easily who's been retained, who has not been retained from last year to this year or another year you're looking at. And it's going to give you some quick stats. And then from here too, you can download that list And then you can use that to, kind of segment out your donors for communications. Hey, it looks like you gave $25 last year. We'd love to see you come back. Etc. So it gives you some quick information on just who's been retained and not. So then you can use that to hopefully get everyone who donated last year to donate again, but then also be able to be strategic in your messaging and communications with your donors around the day. And then so in addition to the disbursements area, first I'm going to jump to the EFT area so that you all can see, what that looks like. And you can find that there in settings and disbursement settings.
And
So
Dawn,
from
real
here,
quick,
yes,
EFT, I believe that stands for electronic funds transfer.
yeah.
And some folks might more commonly know that as an ACH.
Yes. So basically, if you want your money to get into your bank account, then you'll want to switch your payouts to EFT. So Mightycause this year, another change is that, and Rachel, you can explain this more if needed, but another change that's happening is Mightycause Charitable Foundation, which is a donor advised fund, is going to be processing all the gifts this year for GiveNOLA Day. And that means that you have a little bit more opportunity and flexibility with how you receive your funds and how quickly you receive your funds. So what that means is you have two options now to receive your funds. You can get a disbursement by check, which if you want it by check, you do not need to do anything, no steps needed, because we will automatically send a check for the funds that you raise for GiveNOLA Day to the address that you have on file with the IRS. You'll get the check in the mail. There's a paper that goes along with it, and then with instructions on how you can go online to view your disbursement report connected to that check. Alternatively, you can get your funds sent to your bank account by switching to EFT. To do that, all you have to do is add in your routing number and your account number and click Set up EFT. We have a program that we utilize that will, I don't know exactly how it works, but basically some of the bank accounts are automatically approved because there's this, I've learned a lot, but there's this entity that just confirms if bank accounts are active and open, and that allows you to not have to do anything after that. Others, it might not be able to auto approve your submission, and if that's the case, then all we would need is a voided check uploaded into the system, which it will give you the instructions here once you get to that point, or a letter from your bank saying, yes, they have an account here. And then you can submit those items. Someone from our support team will review the items to make sure that, oh, yes, these numbers line up, or yes, this is the org. Because obviously we want to make sure that that the funds are going to the correct account for the correct organization. Very important. And then once it's approved, then that's it. You can sit back, you can relax, and just your funds will show up in your bank account. We do twice monthly disbursements for EFT around the 10th and around the 25th. And then we do once a month disbursements for checks around the 10th of the month. And so your payout will follow that same schedule for GiveNOLA Day this year. I don't know if you have anything you want to add, Rachel.
I just want to talk through that a little bit more
Mm-hmm.
because one of the biggest pain points I feel that we often hear about for organizations is the payment timeline, the disbursement timeline. So rather than funds coming out from the foundation at the end of June, if you set up EFT with Mightycause, those funds will move within the month of May. I'm waiting for like lots of explosions and fireworks to happen around the city in my head. Aha, I got one yay. Thank you, Diana. So essentially, what things will happen is Mightycause has a whole system whereby when you submit your EFT, they're able to run the functionality in a more nimble way than we have the capacity and technology to do, such that it can be that if you get funds during early giving, those would actually come out around May 10th. And again, that is the date where the disbursement occurs from Mightycause, aka and the foundation's finance systems. So that doesn't mean the money will hit your account on the 10th. At that point, that's when the process begins. Generally, that process, let's say, is 2 to maybe 5 business days.
Hmm.
Then, because of the need for compilation, funds from GiveNOLA Day will be processed and dispersed generally sometime around the 25th. To note, the 25th of May is Memorial Day, so it might be that they
We,
actually flow out on Friday the 22nd.
yeah, usually if the disbursement date falls on a holiday, we try to get the funds out earlier because I would want my money sooner rather than later. So we just operate by that assumption. Um, yeah.
Real quick, so just as a safety and data protection, the EFT and ACH information is not carried over from platform to platform. If you'll recall, we actually required it to be uploaded every year on our past platform. So if you did upload it in the past, you will need to upload this information through the Mightycause platform again. So just what
I,
Dawn showed.
I will say, Rachel, we
Mhm.
were actually able to securely get a file of existing bank accounts. So, and it ran through our whatever the magic system is that we use. So some of you might already have pre-approved EFT, like your banking set up in your account. Others might not, or you might have to upload the voided check. Your information might be there, but a voided check might be required. So just so you know, we were able to do that, which is always great. And it's not always guaranteed. But we were able to do that. So obviously, definitely double check. But that piece is highly specialized because of the information involved. So we're always excited to offer that when we can. So just FYI. So even
And
less,
then Dawn, we just because we're coming up on time,
yes,
um, are you going to be able to talk about the organization's link, like their profile page link?
I can. Yeah.
Great.
So let's do that first. So basically, when you need the link to share, all you have to do is go click organization page, and this is your public link that you can share. Um, Hot tip, you do not need organization in here. So if you wanted to just have which it has to do with redirect technology that I am not smart enough to understand. But if you just wanted to send people this link to say, givenola.org/ your organization name, then it's going to bring you, hopefully my internet's working fine. Okay. It's going to bring you to that same exact page. So you don't have to you can kind of shorten the link if you want in that way. So hot tip, but if you're just like, I'm not computing, totally fine. You can send this link and everyone will still get to the correct place. Um, Really quickly, I wanted to make sure I talked about the checkout because we have some customization options in our checkout flow that you're able to take advantage of. I'm not going to spend too much time on this since your checkout, if you didn't want to do anything with it, it's great as is, just to say that first. If you did want to explore, you can customize things on your donation form, like your suggested donation amounts. You can add custom questions. You can customize what we call a thank you page, which basically is what the confirmation screen that shows up after a donor after their gift goes through. So this is a great way for you to add in an additional message to people. You can add images or videos here as well. I've seen people get super creative with this area. You can you can do a quick like iPhone selfie video where your whole staff is saying thank you so much, and then upload that to your um well, you'd have to upload it to YouTube first, and then you can embed it in here. But just some fun things. People have been really creative with this section, which I always love to see. And then lastly, you can customize a part of the donation receipt that every donor gets sent out. So the receipts that donors receive will have like the GiveNOLA branding on it because that's what the day is for. However, you are able to add in your own message that's going to show up underneath the first part of the receipt, where you can then further steward your donors with that email receipt that they get. So I wanted to point that out really quick. And then lastly, with the settings, some of you, we did our best to migrate over your URLs as they were. So this is a URL. So the link to your organization profile, we did our best to make sure those were the same. Some of you will not have the same just because we already have another organization that might have the similar name, have the same URL. So for those of you that happens to, you can customize your URL in the general settings of your account under the general settings area. And there's a couple other settings here too. Search tags, alternate search names, social sharing. So there's a lot of different items that you can take advantage of. So I highly recommend kind of going through there and seeing what's available. And again, the support icon over here, it's going to allow you, like, it'll pull up any suggested articles based on the page that you're looking at. You can always search our help topics. We have a lot of help articles for you with pictures and just complete walkthroughs. So highly recommend that. And then your admin area is a great place to be able to see who's pending approval. If you're an existing admin and you see someone pending approval and you're like, oh yeah, Stacy is part of our team, you can go ahead and approve them if you want. And then you can see a list of the existing admins on the account. You can remove anyone if they should no longer have access. And then you can always add new admins depending on your organization people. And then one last very important piece is that right now, some of the items, some of the tools in your accounts are behind a paywall, but we will be removing that paywall probably in the next month. So some of the features like automated emails and text to give and things like that are going to be under this like accelerate paywall, but that will be getting removed in the next month. So come back and visit your account in the next month to see. And then that way you'll have even more tools and opportunities for, kind of exploring and things like that and taking advantage of the system later on, but still with plenty of time for GiveNOLA. I want to make sure I have enough time for questions as well. I'm sure we have a lot. And if anyone does have questions, then please feel free to email our support team. I know I probably won't be able to get to all the questions. So you're welcome to email us, email Rachel, and Rachel can probably forward the emails on to us if she doesn't know the answer. But I want to throw that out there too, because I probably won't be able to get to everyone's questions.
Real quick, so a couple of folks have been really interested in text to give, and
Okay.
so we'll discuss that more in a subsequent webinar because we're
Yep,
about
we
to
can
run
do
out
that.
of time.
Yep.
But it will be pretty easy to go.
Yep.
And we had a couple other questions, but we'll get to those. And I think that's sort of the only one that we're hearing from a couple people.
Okay,
So
yeah. And any other like themes?
I think there seems to be a lot of general excitement about the platform, which is great. And some folks have asked some questions about donor advised funds here at the foundation, and we're going to process those the same way. We'll extend the opportunity to all of our fund holders, and if they choose to give, that'll be rolled right through into your GiveNOLA Day fundraising. So, and just to emphasize what Dawn shared, there's the question mark or that emailing support at Mightycause.
Oh,
If
yeah.
you've
And
got any other questions, that Mightycause will share questions with us that we can answer. And that's at givenola@gnof.org. And then similarly, if a question comes to us that's really a Mightycause, more of those tech questions, etc., we'll send it over there.
Mhm.
I think Again, some folks are really excited about some of those functionalities that are behind that accelerate, that flame icon
Mm.
paywall, as Dawn shared. Those are going to come online for everybody within the next month, which is really exciting. Um, and I'm thinking that's sort of everything that's coming online. Also, just to remind everyone, we've sort of been talking from a fire hose for this last hour about lots of different things that can happen now with Mightycause. Again, it's all about what you have the capacity to do and what's going to work well for your organization. There's
Right.
lots of options, there's lots of opportunities, things to try. But again, if your organization is like, nope, we got our systems, we do
Yep.
this, or, our board makes us do this, whatever, turn it
Yep.
on and then you can check it off and move on to the next thing. So lots of options, lots of potential tools, and we'll be in touch again with an opportunity to join Dawn and learn more about some of that additional functionality. But, take 5 minutes, do a little breathing, and get excited.
Yeah. So, one thing I want to point out here is for those of you who have specific feature questions that we were not able to get to today, we have articles, support articles detailing what you can do with those features and, all the good stuff. Support.mightycause.com. The mightycause.com guide has extra webinars that go even more in detail with some of the tools and how to use them. So again, all based on your capacity. Everyone's super busy. So at the bare minimum, just register and then share your link out. So it doesn't, we don't want to make it harder than it needs to be because y'all are doing good work. So yeah, any questions, support@mightycause.com. Mightycause is so excited to be able to partner with the Greater New Orleans Foundation this year for GiveNOLA Day. And so please let us know if you have any questions, any feedback. And, our goal is to always make the systems user-friendly and good for you. So let us know. But thank you so much for your time today. And I cannot wait to do it again for webinar number 2.
Thanks, everybody. Have a great
Thank
day.
you.
Stay warm, stay warm.
Yes, thank you.